time is it? What time is it? It's time for another review? That's right. Once again, it's Lenny from the Lenny Sports Talk Hour, KUHSdenver.com, Mondays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Today I'm going to try and make it quick. I know in previous reviews that I've been doing a lot of that I tend to repeat myself a lot, so I've really reviewed a lot of those, and I'm kind of refining it down to what I should talk about, what I should do. But if this rambles on too, hey, the more info, the better. So here we are, Colorado right now. I've been running in the Skechers Go Run Ultra Road version. I ran in the Go Run Ultra 2 version, which is like the trail version. And so I got this babies, and I'm gonna do a review on them. I've ran a couple times in them, 10 miles. There's another review on YouTube about them, so go check that out. But there's a couple other things that I'd like to add to my experience running in them. So, you know, just because I did run in the Go Run Ultra 2, which is also on my YouTube channel, so check that out, and you can compare and contrast on how I feel about the both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and start out by saying this shoe is very comfortable. I mean, Skechers is making one of the most comfortable shoes out there. The cushioning is very soft, but I'd like to start with the sizing, of course. First of all, I got a size 11 that did feel a little shorter than the Go Run Ultra 2. It felt just a little bit shorter. I was just like, kind of like, well, should I run in this? Should I not? And so I ended up running in it because it seemed like it had enough space to hold up on a short run. Well, yesterday I ran on a 6.5 mile run. My feet swelled up, and I did feel like my toes were kind of getting crimped in the top, especially on the downhill. It felt like I was pulling my toes away from the front, and as soon as I actually kind of relaxed my toes and put them towards the front and tried to grab the ground, my toes were at the very tip. So I think I need 11.5, so that's something to take note of. In the Go Run Ultra 2, I definitely needed a size 11, and it worked pretty well. It was more of a banana shaped, really tight up here, the Go Run Ultra 2 was. This one seemed like they smushed the shoe down further and made a fatter toe box. This way, wider, I mean. And the other Go Run Ultra 2 was very more narrow, and it didn't have as wide as a toe box. And right here where the eyelets are on the Go Run Ultra 2, they seem to pinch my bone and toes and feet right here where kind of my toes start. And on this one, I didn't have that problem at all. These pretty much, these eyelets don't bother me. It seems like it's a raised toe box is what I've heard, and it's what it felt like. And also the toe box is just a lot wider, and same with the sole on the bottom right here. It just seems wider. Seems like a more stable shoe than the other one. It's definitely flexible, and that's the good thing about the Skechers compared to the Hoka. I have a Hoka behind me because I'm gonna compare that to this Skechers shoe, but it's definitely a lot softer and a lot more flexible, and that just feels really good. And it just feels like, you know, your foot really forms to the shoe, conforms to it, other than being stuck in it, stiff in it, and you have to break it in. This doesn't require that much breaking time. Very comfortable shoe. I like it a lot. I like the wider toe box. To compensate for that, it seems like they smushed the shoe, kind of stubbed it down in the front, so my toes don't really fit, so I need 11.5, which kind of bums me out because I was hoping to run a lot of miles in this shoe. And I still can. I just need to get the 11.5 if I can pull that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a more stable shoe. The Go Run Ultra 2, in my other review, just like I said, I played basketball in it, and it just wasn't a good idea. I felt like I kept twisting my ankle over, not injuring myself, but it just kept falling over, and I was like, oh crap, you know. But in this one, I just feel like it's a more stable shoe, a more stable platform. They just did a lot more with this front area here on the bottom sole and on the insole here. So just the toe box is a lot wider. Same with the sole here. Seems to be a lot wider, a lot more stable. Not completely stable. I mean, the lateral, it still feels like you can twist an ankle in it. So I wouldn't, say anything about going to the mountains or anything like that on crazy terrain. But on the road, it's a good shoe. It's equal to Hoka, except it's way softer and way more nicer and plush. And also, I ran in the rain yesterday. Well, it was raining before I went out, and this actually felt very slippery. I didn't slip or anything, but it just had that feel where, it was like, it just felt slippery. Like I could, if I pushed too hard on my foot one way and tried to, if I was going side to side or anything like that, I would definitely slip. So, I mean, this right here is definitely not that grippy. I could just feel it under my foot when I was running in the wetness. And, at the price, $115, it's a pretty good comparable price to the Hoka Clifton at 130. This one's 115, and it's just a really good price, I think. And it just seemed like it was more responsive too than some of the other maximum cushion shoes. It felt like it had a little more spring to it. Like I said, it's real soft, so maybe that's something. Just something in their foam is really good. I just really like this shoe a lot. I wish I had it in 11.5. I wish I didn't buy it in 11. I don't even know why I would still buy shoes in 11. I just feel like, oh, they're going to fit. And when you run a lot of miles, if you run a long run, your foot swells, and it just doesn't fit after about mile 5 or 6. It just, so I always go 11.5 now. I don't know why I chose these in 11. I should have known better. But these also have drain holes. Like I said, I was running in the wetness yesterday. It wasn't raining, so I don't really know how that would feel. It has drainage holes up here in the insole as well. And the insole's pretty soft, pretty nice. It's not too thick. It's just your standard insole. That's the first time I actually took it out. But yeah, you can't really feel the ground in these. If you're looking for ground feel or something like that, I mean, there's just a lot of cushion here. They're not made to feel the ground. They're made to not feel the ground, so you don't feel the punishing on your knees and stuff like that. And this is really a good shoe for that. If you don't want to feel the punishment of the pavement, check this out. This is definitely a great shoe, an alternative to a Hoka. And I don't feel like I would get any blisters in this. And the Flyknit here, I'm not sure, how this feels to me. I mean, it felt pretty good on my toes. It feels pretty good, right here on my fingertips. Seems like a good material. I would definitely have to run in it a lot longer to see if it actually holds up. I'm not sure how this cushioning will hold up because it seems really soft. I felt like I was already kind of sinking into it. So, I mean, 200 to 300 miles, maybe. I'm not sure. But like I said, I've only done 10 miles in this. So, just very responsive, very good shoe. Now, let's weigh it. I haven't weighed it yet, so I don't even know. It's 10.4 ounces for size 9 is what they pretty much weigh it at. Oh yeah, another thing is stack height. This is a big deal. To me, this is way more cushion than the Skechers Go Run Ultra 2. Now let me say that again. Way more cushion than Skechers Go Run Ultra 2. And that's the trail version, of course. And on some running websites, it has them at 30 millimeters to the front and 34 millimeters in the back for the Skechers Go Run Ultra 2. And on this one, they have 27 millimeters in the front and 32 in the back. And I don't know if that's just completely wrong or they just measured it wrong, but this has way more cushioning, in my opinion, than the Skechers Go Run Ultra 2. I would say at least 3 to 5 millimeters, it feels like. I'm not sure, maybe the stack height on the Go Run Ultra 2 is higher, and it just felt like I could feel the ground more. But on this one, it just seems higher, and it feels like I could definitely not feel the ground. I just felt like there was way more cushioning in this model, this Skechers Go Run Ultra Road. I don't know if maybe people have different experience, or maybe they just measured it wrong, or I don't know. It just feels like it has way more cushioning. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Way more cushioning than the Skechers Go Run Ultra 2. Maybe they measured it wrong. I have no idea, but the stack height, definitely different in my opinion. Definitely a better shoe. Definitely a wider toe box. So let's weigh it. I haven't weighed it yet, like I said. 10.4 ounces it's measured at online on running websites. We'll see exactly what it is. For a size 11, now I should be in a size 11, so I'm going to have to suspect that it's going to be heavier than that. But this is a size 11. Let's see how much it weighs. 11.9 ounces for size 11, so almost 12 ounces, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's definitely on the other review I seen, kind of saying that it was heavy, but 11.9 isn't terrible. I mean, some of the Hoka models, some of the heavier ones, they just tend to be very heavy. So 11.9, I'll zoom in on that so you can see that. 11.9. So let's go to the other one. That was the right shoe. This is the left shoe. Would you look at that? 12.1. So there's always weird discrepancies with that stuff, but you know, left shoe, right shoe usually are off by like. That's why I wanted to weigh both of them. And the last thing I'd like to point out is the rocker on both of these shoes. I mean, the Hoka, you can definitely see there's a lot more rocker. And on the Skechers, this is definitely a rocker shape. It's definitely more flatter. And you know, with the Hoka, you're getting more of a whoop. And with this, you're just getting more of a flatter rocker. So I definitely would choose this over a Hoka. It's just my opinion right now, but definitely a shoe to check out. Skechers Go Run Ultra Road. Peace.